because like now that I'm understanding it, there's gonna be things in the future that's gonna bring back those. But now I know how to approach it when it happens, and eventually, as it keeps happening, when I feel those triggers, I know how to assess it, move on, and eventually it won't even bother me no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that was a good point you said. The longer you take to what you say,
the longer you hold on to it,
right? The longer you hold on to it,
the longer it's gonna take to let it go.
The harder to transcend that. Yeah. Like, but yeah, I definitely feel that, man, and that's why I spent a lot of solitude. Literally, just I wanted to feel it. When I first got out here, no drugs, no women, no. I literally I'm like I don't want to mask it. Like I just want to feel it, and that's what gave me the upper hand. You know where I'm at now, to where like I went through it, so I can see when other people ain't went through it. Like when you do the work. You know what I mean? That's like you doing work on goddamn cars. You know what I mean? You come, somebody wants you to do work on their car, and you see whoever did it before, you did the work. You know what they did. Oh, damn, they put the wrong tube right here. You know what I mean? Like that's not right. You know what I mean? Like, or you know what I mean? Or just somebody can't get their game system going or something going. You like. You done did the work. You know where it went wrong at. Exactly. Like, now did you you know what I mean? Did you make sure your HDMI cord is cool? Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. But you did the work. So you realize what it is. Yeah. Like, my screen just blew.
You know if you did shortcuts.
You know what I mean? My screen just blew. I don't know what's going on. Like, when you do the work, you know what the hell is going on. Man. So that's what makes you even more compassionate towards people, because you can't separate yourself. You just see yourself.
Right, exactly.
You see an older version of yourself, and you're giving them what you need in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
And whether they take it or not is
it ain't even.
And you're not attaching to that either. You
exactly.
Know what I mean?
Not at all.
That's the best part about it.
Not attaching. Like, you better listen to my advice. I try to tell you. Like, nah, I'm literally just giving you my experience from that point that I was in. You know what I mean? And maybe that'll help you. If not, oh well, but I'm not attached.
Right, exactly.
It's a win-win for both of us. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't, because some people be like, dang, he ain't like mad. Like, I told him 4 years ago. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, why would I have to tell him? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, let it go. Right, like, exactly. You know what I mean? If you actually just wanted to help, that's where it stops.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, now you're not helping. You're trying to control
you're trying to
now.
validate yourself.
Yeah, right.
Was it really for them?
Yeah, right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like that's a major key, that observer point that you said, just observing life. Because what you're saying, you ain't the body, you know what I mean?
You're not your emotions, you're not your body.
You're not the
you're
emotions.
Not your brain, you're not your thoughts.
Like,
you know what I mean? But you are. And what I mean by not those, I'm just saying you are.
But what
you exist. You are, but you're not your emotions, you're not your mind, you're not your body, you're not your
What was the realization that clicked for you? Because that's heavy to be able to be able to get in that space when we're constantly living, constantly feeling emotions, constantly.
When it was talking about how, like, understanding the difference, because thankfully I've already been self-aware of my awareness, and that gave me a leg up. Because I'm always searching for fulfillment in a spiritual sense, which already allowed me to have that awareness of my awareness. I've been intermittently in and out of that place, whether I knew I was or not. You know what I mean? Like, thinking about the fact that I'm thinking about shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so when he brought up the context about, like, when you watch a movie, you know what I mean? You eventually immerse yourself to where you don't even know you sitting by strangers. You know what I'm saying? It's cool in the room, but you might not even notice the temperature. You're immersed in what's happening around you.
Fully present.
And he's like, in the experience in the avatar is much more deeper than that, because your senses and your vision is what make you immersed in the movie. But in this avatar, you immerse through your feeling, your touch, your taste. You go so immersed into that feeling that you're not aware of the fact that this isn't who you are. You're just part of the experience. It's like the Oculus. You know what I'm saying? Right. But except this, instead of it just being the visual and the ears, now you touching shit, you can feel shit, you can taste it. But it's like all of this is only the experience. You're not even that. You're not even the actual thing, bro. And so when I understood that, he's like, you gotta acknowledge that the emotions, that's all of this is just part of the experience. Acknowledge it, assess it. You can't become a robot in that, because you're gonna feel that's part of the experience. But like, acknowledge what it is, understand where it's coming from, and then push it past and move on. It's like, my problem was, my issue is, I'm seeking ultimate fulfillment, and that's not one aspect. You can't reach fulfillment from one aspect of life, whether it be stability,
marriage,
whether it be I'm seeking wholesome fulfillment,
wholeness.
You know what I mean? And I can't do that by compartmentalizing certain things. I just can't. So I reached an impasse because at one point before I was faced with the question of what it is I want to do to get past it, I was avoiding all of that because I was unaware of certain parts of it. So it was like I came to that conclusion when I was listening to the audiobook. It's like, you know, if you really seek wholesome fulfillment, you're gonna have to assess this stuff and move past it. Just like the shit that the shit that you don't care about, you gotta treat that just like that stuff. You gotta treat that like the chick that might have accidentally gave you another coffee when you order one and you just passed it. That's a situation that happened. You won't think nothing of it. You might not even talk about it. You got to treat that situation like every situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. That's allowing you to learn new things, experience new stuff. You can take it to different places. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I can't avoid this. And he was talking about how like when you garner certain things, like it doesn't affect one part of your life. It affects everything as a whole. And he was giving examples about that, and then I started realizing that that's what was happening to me. I'm like, damn, I'm thinking that it don't work like that. Like it don't work like that. Like I'm like, damn.
That's why I can't.
So
go ahead, talk your shit.
Yeah, so I was just like, I have to embrace this. So I was like, how do I go about this? Because I don't, you know what I mean? And then it was like, all right, I get it now. Like, I have become my feelings. I have become my thoughts. I have become my
it's just all the senses.
I become
you mistake who you are for your senses because it feels so real. Yeah. But that's why I always was talking about that awareness. Yeah. That's why that's the ultimate. That's what everybody is looking for when they're looking for God or what God. It's all awareness, and that's why I was saying like. You could eat something that you don't even know is bad for your stomach, but your body know. Yeah. There's an awareness there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an awareness. Yeah. So everything is built around awareness, and your senses are just so. I had to look at it like, what are senses? Like your senses are basically just sensations. Yeah. So it's like at the base root of what senses are. It's just to process things.
Right, yeah.
So what people choose to keep continuing to process, this is a matter of life or death or depression or happiness.
Right, and it's a choice. It's not something that's actively occurring. It's something you're holding on to. Yeah. I'm holding on to.
Because you don't have to keep watching porn or keep eating things.
Right, You think that that's what's happening. You think that every interaction you have, people are abusing or taking. But no. That's happening in your mind because you're continuing to connect to those senses. You know what I mean? You're holding on to that. These people not thinking about how half of them might, but it's only affecting you because of what you're choosing to connect with. Yeah, you're connected to that sense, that emotion. You're the one that's like living in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the level up. That was the level up. Just realizing you're a ball of awareness. You're a ball of awareness.
I sat there in the car. When I realized that, bro, I literally sat in the car and started literally thinking about all the memories that evoked certain emotions the minute that they passed my fucking frontal lobe. And I would feel those emotions, and I would just like take a deep breath, pass it, assess it, and just move on. And like the more I did it, the more I just felt myself feeling lighter. I started feeling myself feeling happier. Yeah. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like this is happening right on the spot. Like. I'm like, man, and I'm like, there's going to be other things that I might not be aware of now that might trigger but now when it comes, that's just going to get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? I won't have to deal with it no more.
Right, and I know we got two different ways of how we operate, and I know it could seem like I'm like kind of disconnected, just saying they really like, I don't really be putting too much, you know what I mean? Focus on certain things, getting emotionally tied in or you know what I mean, to where it's like I don't care. It's just like I can't. You know what I mean? It's like I can't. Like you saying, it's just to pass through. Like it's just for me to. That's the experience. It's not for me to take that and put it in my backpack and carry it with me. Right. So
whether it's a bad or a good experience.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? You won that trophy. You won that award, and now every time you have that memory, you thinking about like you're not realizing that's energy
Yes.
You're using to hold on to that, even if it's good.
Yeah, and you want to keep getting to that.
Yeah, and you every time you think
that. I was go good back then.
Or anytime you want to feel that happiness again, you think about that time.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like, man, I remember when you might not be talking about it, but it's in your own mind. Like, man, I remember when I did that. Everybody was packed. You think about the memory. Everybody was revving you up. Like, bro, just like every situation, experience, assess it, and let it pass, bro.
How can you have that in the now? Like, how can you experience that consistently? You know what I mean? Versus having to go back, and that's what brings the depression and the anxiety because you're traveling through different states of mind.
Time traveling.
You know what I mean? You're going through different states of mind. So that state of mind is always in this moment. So once I realized that, as far as the senses, you know, it's always now. My senses are always tuned in and now, but I can use my mind to go back into other events to activate that and feel the presence now.
This
and locked in time don't exist because it's like it's just a location that you stay in. Because you could have got out of those moments, released yourself from them a couple days after they happened. You know what I mean? All those memories that happen. So time really don't exist. It's you're in a location actually. Facts. And you keep revisiting that location, you know what I'm saying, until you realize,
back in that room.
You know what I mean? Like everything is now, and I'm carrying it with me. But yeah, that so that I think that's one of the hardest things for people to realize when you cling on and attach to certain things. It keeps you in a certain location. Time doesn't exist because. And that's why I speak about the alignment. It's just about aligning more so time. You know what I mean? Because somebody could do something. There's no way we could just set out times for everybody. He's going to be married here. He's going to be rich by then.
This shit is literally...
It's all alignment. He aligned to be rich. He aligned to get married. He aligned to get that college degree. It wasn't a time thing. Because he could fail. He could fail and have to do it over. So he has to align with that. It's no time, but time puts that pressure on you to where it's like I'm not doing it fast enough, or damn, I got 6 more years, or you know what I mean. So
and that comes with attaching to the ego and all the other stuff that come along with those memories that you clinging on to. You inform this identity. You know what I mean? Like this shit is supposed to, man. This is all a ride. It's no different than a visit you have at the King's Island. You know what I mean? But that's momentary, right? Because you can leave the King's Island. But like this roller coaster is this. That's what this is. This is just a longer time span of experience. You know what I mean? It ain't no different than going to the movie theater. This experience in these vessels ain't no different than going to King's Island, going to a movie theater, going to your favorite restaurant. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You see how hard that makes you. That ego, building up that ego, connected to that. You see how cold and hard it makes you, because it's like you have to,
because
you have to prove
energy. You
have to prove who you are every day.
It's crazy because I realized I feel lighter.
Yeah, right.
The reason I felt lighter is because
holding on to energy.
You utilize, and granted, the energy that we have is vast. It's limitless.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But we're unaware of that. So like. We're not aware of the immense energy it takes to hold on to that identity. You know what I mean? Because in order to hold on to that identity, you have to use the energy that you use to defend it. Use the energy that it takes when you be thinking about the shit that you're trying to do to avoid the situation, so you don't have to defend it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so much energy to protect in the fucking. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, bro.
You have to prove yourself.
That's why we be so stressed. That's why we feel. Now it makes sense now why when I would take shrooms, why the first thing that would happen is my head would feel like, my head would feel like
because that stuff would get released.
Pillow, yeah, because I would no longer be attached to the identity that I formulated and the energy I created to hold on to it. I can't because I'm connected to the collective unconscious at that point.
Right.
So I just be releasing it, and then when the shrooms go, I'm bringing that shit back down. Like, hold on, let me
get my, because I don't have no grounding. Right, this is who I am. Right, exactly. I went to the military. Right, I went to this school. You know what I mean? I'm from this state, and all of these things. I'm such and such a son. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just all this stuff.
So when that high go down, I'm bringing my identity back. Like, oh shit, hold on, let me bring my identity back. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
but bro, I have no urge to prove myself every day. That was one of the main things. Like, I don't have to prove myself. I am who I am. Like, and it's not this identity for one, because I'm not a name. You know what I mean? That, you know how many people be, like you said, with that energy that goes into protecting their name. I'm the Senator Chief of the United States. You know what I mean? That's a lot of energy and ego going in with that, to how you want people to perceive you and how you gonna move to be perceived that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I just disconnected from the age. I felt so lighter. Like, I feel eternal now. Like, I don't even have an age. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the fucking race shit, the belief system shit, religion, all of this shit just evaporated, and I actually just became empowered, because the very source that's, you know what I mean, my foundation in essence is actually, you know what I'm saying, actually processing through me and coming through me, versus me suppressing it, like you said. Because all of these names and stuff just bring filters. That energy you said, it's a filter. You're filtering your energy through that concept of who I am and what you got to do. I don't have to do that no more. Like, I'm connected to everything. There's nothing in this world I'm not connected to that's way more powerful than me looking at myself as a black man. Right. It's only so much I can do as a black man. Right. You know what I mean? Facts. Like, you know what I mean? So
that's another simulation, bro.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's a simulation, because you're looking at things happen to me this way.
My bad. That's the term I wanted to say. Yeah. You're subscribing to the simulation.
Yeah,
you know
so it just empowered me, man, to a whole nother level that most people won't even be able to experience, because they're thinking they're these names. And I'm like, you can't touch a name. You can't touch that. You know what I'm saying? These labels, it's something that can't be touched, and it changes. How many people keep the same career over their whole lives? And it seems like when they get to the end of life, they're more in realization of who they really are. And what they do aligns with it. It's like it's no longer a job.
And how many people didn't have that whole job their whole life, and now they have a behavior pattern based on that experience through that job, because they might have hated it, or, you know what I mean? You got older people that's grumpy because they spent these many years of their life. They made a living and they had the house there, but they miserable because there was a lack of fulfillment. You know what I mean? And now they just a grumpy old person. You at the end of your life. You at the end of your life where you ain't gotta worry about nothing, as we like to say. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You having no obligations, and you in the most horrible moment emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Bound. Because of some shit that didn't happen in the past. You in later in your life, like.
Yeah, like I just been feeling so light, man, and I think that's where the intuition builds up, because it's like you don't have no intuition when you clinging onto these labels and egos, because everything is based off that. Yeah. I'm a teacher. I'm responding because this is how teachers respond, and what this is like. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like you're not even free. You know what I'm saying? You have no intuition. You know what I mean? Because you're just thinking logic, and everything ain't logic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not logic. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to make sense logically. You know what I mean? Because we're living in this world. People don't know how the sun is up there in the moon. Yeah. It ain't logic.
Yeah, people say you can't see oxygen, but you believe you.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Breathing oxygen. It ain't logic, but you got to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot that gets released with that, man. But just these titles and stuff, you know, and ain't nothing against it. It ain't right or wrong. That's just what they want to experience, you know. You choose what you want to experience. But you described that so well. As far as that process of feeling lighter, breaking down that, the deconstructing that ego. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's just that once I realized, like I had to really sit on that. Like, I'm all awareness. Like, I'm literally just a ball of awareness. Like, whoever the fuck I thought I was, that's not me. That's something that I came up. That's something that I subscribed to. Other people projected to me.
And that's held on to.
That's just like going back to your old city, and people, they're gonna respond to you. We talked about that. They're gonna respond.
They treat you like who you was when you was there. Yeah.
And you